Welcome to Brief Bash Cisco edition, but really, Brav Bash. You know what I'm saying? I went on a journey down Google Photos, like basically clicking on people's faces, clicking on S1T2 location, and just went down. And I was thinking, like, first I was like, is it like big ups? Is it like this is? Then I was like, it is things I'm most grateful for, S1T2. And also, this hit list, bro. Don't worry about that. So for the Gen Z in their building, bro, yeah? This is a show movie from back in the day, 10 Things I Hate About You. But Cisco's 10 Things I Rate About You.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, look at this. You didn't know me then. I was sending a video to my mom, bro.
Look at your hair, Cisco.
Straight up the keto diet. And I had to introduce myself to all these scary people, like, so talented. What do you mean? Alright, that's enough, yeah. Look at this guy, bro.
Damn.
6 years ago,
Shit,
I was Nicky with the dunks, bro. That was Nicky with the dunks. And this was like kind of the old studio vibe, like straight away walking in, people are doing stuff, like, okay, cool. And also, you already know the story, but the most iconic Abu Dhabi trip. We had to wear a suit as a designer, and I knew these lot about 5 minutes, yeah?
I'm still doing the same shit.
Two, there's numbers. That was number one reason, yeah. Number two, 10 things I rate about you. The best developers, yeah. Sorry, I just found whatever I could, but my point is, in that moment, when I did the idea, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Like, you can actually do whatever you want. I actually can't think as big as these lot are thinking, because I never thought you could do some of the things that they're talking about. And so that's been really unique and helpful in my career as a designer, and like things I want to make, things, we have crazy ideas and they happen somehow. And this is some photos of the developers, and that we went to Wollongong. After nights, we went to the pub tour, and after nights out.
With Ash?
I don't even remember that.
Right,
Yeah, Ash really does.
the best, that's Nicky's voice, bro. The best Christmas parties, like, let's not take for granted what a Christmas party is, because it doesn't need to be this, bro. Go and get in an Airbnb, sleep in Taronga Zoo, go in a swimming pool, like flipping, I don't know, like, and actually my highlight was everyone making my mum samosas. That's like iconic. And this video, and when we did the Squid Games? That was sick.
And Liam basically soloed the whole company.
Oh yeah, that was before the gym. Anyway, and also best pub lunches, I'm like, this is what the old Norfolk $15 lunch, and it's a rare sighting of JK at pub lunch, isn't it? And actually, you know what? My 6 years here, I've been through it with the Norfolk brand. I've seen 6 different brand identities. Family moments number 4. I don't think you lot realise, like, when I first started, Chris joined our project a day late because his firstborn was born, yeah? So it's like, I've seen them go from like 3 single dudes to married with 1 kid and 2 kids and I'm not married, I'm a baby, all this stuff, yeah? Look, and I tell my friends at work, yeah, I'm like, friends, like, by my company, like, oh yeah, my bosses are mates. I held their 2-week-old baby, I'm like, yeah, how do you hold a 2-week-old baby? But look, mate, this, some bangers here, look at this. Look at this. Noah on my Instagram, bro. Noah, this one here, Tash and Chris, babies with each other. having a Sri Lankan boss. That's like the second thing that comes out of my mouth when I tell about family back home about what's it like at work.
What the fuck is up?
Is it generated?
That's the Australian lifestyle. We went to the pool, and yeah, I think like that's underrated. Like Francisco from London is gassed about having a Sri Lankan boss. Yeah, and it's not just the boss. He also can even hook you up with his people. That's so much nice. That's clutch boss activity. And 2 Asian ones, bro. I'm like, okay. Oh, crap. Oh, wait, okay.
Liam knows about biodiversity.
Alright, this one of my favorite projects. I've explained it really weird, but basically, like, I don't take for granted I get to work on an international project that at the time everyone's talking about the internet and how it's bad for you, and I'm a designer in the internet and we're making a thing for young people in the Solomon Islands to learn the internet better. And I say it was like a really S1T2 thing for me, because I wouldn't do all this, make all these stories based on video games, but this was me, bro. This was like me at the time exploring paints and gradients and colors, and I was like, boom, I had the opportunity to put it together. And then people like Ayana helped me to go from like chaos to like a system, and it became real. And it's like, I was showing it to a friend of mine, like, when I was in the thing, and she was like, wow, it's like a Francisco project, like how the, like the whole thing is, yeah. Something that people love to use every day used to be on my like about section on my website as a designer, because it's like, yeah, that's kind of like, I used to use the London Underground as a kid, and it's like, it works every day, it's taking people to the thing, and it goes even beyond loving, you just get used to it, yeah? So sometimes if I get to feel that feeling at work, I'm like, that's it, yeah? And I got to do it with the fucking coolest school uniform, and yeah. And basically like do something completely different, like story first, technology second. Suddenly I'm in like the world of fashion, not knowing a thing, being told by the client, these people don't know what they're doing. They never made apparel before, like, yeah, no shit. Yeah. But I had the clutch weapon there, because I had been like networking, doing different creatives in Sydney, and because I had like, basically Tash says to me, Cisco, we're guys, we're not girls, we need to find me a female Muslim fashion designer. I'm like, I'm not from this country, I'm literally ringing up random people in Greenacre, yeah? And I put it on my Instagram story, and this Muslim designer that I follow, she replied with her female Muslim collective, yeah? And they gave us like so much like insights into like young women growing up, being in their religion, how they like how they still be a young teenager but still within their culture and blah blah blah. Like, it was so cool and interesting.
Why
And
is your photo off on that?
He's not part of the Muslim collective.
Not allowed to show his
Hey,
face.
let me go. So anyway, after the haters silence, bro, 95%. I'm saying I went to the photo shoot, and the headmaster's like, yeah, it's brilliant. 95% sold out before the first day of school.
They have to buy it. Sorry. I'm sorry, go on.
That is choice.
Hey, 95% sold out the first day. And the parents literally telling me,
They could
no,
have
thank
chosen
you.
to buy it second day, alright?
Yeah, true.
No, but the whole point is that uniform people said, you don't know what you're doing. Well, I know. Anyway, look at the boys loving the uniform. Tash got like this sick photographer to take the photos. I can't take credit for the logo, like some engineering friend of mine's like, oh, the logo's sick. I'm like, yeah, I didn't do that. Tash literally had divine intervention for that logo. And this is me flexing my Coach jacket, bro. This was Coach jacket. Sometimes you're in S1T2, you're sitting right there. Tash comes out of this room, he says, hey Cisco, do you want to design for Snoop Dogg? And you're like, whatever, you're chatting shit, you're definitely talking rubbish. Go away. And 2 weeks later, we're working kind of for Snoop Dogg, yeah. We're like, listen, they're doing the advert at the time, the Baller Banquet, and we had a few crazy ideas, and but this one was a cool one, and it was like illustration, and I'm also like using my life drawing stuff, the art director, the illustrators, and this one was like freaked me out because I would have never have got to that on my own. It took like Tash and developers and people to like say crazy things like hand illustrate all these animated things on a live website and go in 3D perspective. And I'm like, okay, that's you. Working on the world's largest projection dome. Once I was at the barber, and the guy was like, what do you do? I'm a graphic designer. Like, what brands? I'm like, Dubai Expo, world's largest projection dome. You're like, no way, you're like heavy. And I'm like, I like saying that stuff, yeah. And then I also try to explain what the project was. You take a picture of yourself, it goes to the spaceship man, the spaceship man goes to the roof, and you take a selfie. It sounds like you're making it up, but I'm not making it up. This was the very unique UX problem of no one was taking the right photo, and no one could even have any direction. And how I solved it was using the intern Annie's face there, taking a photo next to the blue lighting that was happening, and she had like a kind of ambiguous face that, that said the message, because previously it was my bearded face, it was who's this guy? So that helped.
It was generic. It was like, just
I mean,
being at home, I lived down the road for the last 5 years.
Bro, that freak is gross.
I'm saying like, I'm the cleaner of the. But like, I'm saying it's the same. I might buy milk for here and there. I come in on the weekends, yeah, and also a thing that you think I think you need to know is like kind of big of me, not big on me, but I asked my friends, I hate giving away my artwork. I didn't even like giving JK the artwork that he gave me the canvas. Yeah? So I put it out here, so like, that's a kind of cool thing, like feel at home. And I bought this camera and I was taking photos of my life, and I'm like, it looks dreamy, bruv. It looks quite nice. And sometimes people ask me about how's work and stuff, and I'm like, the Australian lifestyle. I'm like, I don't know if it's the S1T2 lifestyle or the Australian lifestyle, so I don't take that for granted. And I put my art up here. I like this photo as well, yeah. And the weekend I put it up, I was like, oh, I don't want to, or people won't like it, and then I was like, I feel like I just need to, and then I just put it up. And then the next day I was nervous, like, oh, someone's gonna be like, you don't fucking live here. Like, I don't know, unless I haven't heard so far, I've heard good things, yeah. So that was kind of like cool, and I'm glad that you have it as your home. And I already told you the story of JK's painting, but also I used that as the photo for my wanting to speak at the design conference. And my one regret is that I didn't get to go on the stage and like be the guy for S1T2. But I did my mini one.
That's a pretty big one, bro.
That's fucking gangster. You know what? I'm an idiot. I was trying to stream it and I forgot didn't turn the webcam on, so you lot just listen. No, the thing was pointing in the wrong place. Anyway, what was cool this time was in the studio. Peak COVID times. Ayana and Nikki was the like things I had to like navigate through. We made it though, and it was packed. It was a great success. That whole back area was full. We had to clear that, yeah. And also, like, I was working with the design kids, and they briefed me like, oh, like, what do you want to speak about? And like, I had this like, I was doing a lot of like gradient experiments here, but I had this idea of like, before S1T2, I was struggling to fit in the box of digital design. I'm like, oh, I need to do this and that. And then I've come here, and I've been a bit more like spread out, merged in what I do, at work, outside of work, bringing into the thing. And I feel like young people need to kind of spread their, like instead of like just trying to be upset you don't fit in the box, like, oh, here's a place where you can kind of like spread out, and there's more places like that. And yeah, it was cool. And also, thing is, you're supposed to do like a bunch of speakers, but at that time I was kind of new, and I was sure S1T2 would all be freaked out if I asked one of them to do a talk with me. So I had to get my friends, and it was cool and it was nice. And this was my honor to design on the S1T2 website. It's sick. I like it. Yeah. No, I don't just like it. I love S1T2. And actually, once I'll show you. Anyway, I'll show you that story about that. Anyway, soon, 2 months from now, my mom and dad are coming from Australia to London to Australia, bro. So when I came here 6 years ago, not a chance that I think I'm not living with them in the next 6 years. Like going back, mate. Tash's like, oh, we do sponsorship. I'm trying to go. And now I can stay in touch with them online, like with the video calls, and look at this. That's my dad. That's where I get it from. Yeah.
That's future Cisco.
And this was Mother's Day a few years ago, and then my dad, and then my dad's like, I didn't get flowers, but I made chicken and prawns. And I was like, okay, yeah, I like that. Yeah. But this is them now, like they're kind of, but like, I'm looking forward to having 6 weeks with them, and I want them to visit you guys. We're gonna do dinner or whatever. I want JK to meet my dad. I think it will be funny, and have masala dosa, and
Yay.
that's it.
Yay. Recording.
Oh, wait, by the way, camera's off now. Just
Oh.